What's good, guys? How you doing? It's your boy Reggie here. Today's video isn't really a vlog per se, but it is a video where I want to take some time and talk to you guys about a good friend of mine. Now, his name is Wellington Williams, but I know him best as Maceta. Now, Wellington is only 22 years old, but he's one hell of an entrepreneur. I mean, at his age, this guy's already owned his own restaurant and his own nightclub. But by far the coolest thing I think he's done is he's launched his own line of jewelry. Now, it's called the Wellington Collection, and currently it's being sold in over 20 stores across Turks. If you haven't heard of the Wellington Collection, I'm assuming one of two things. Either you're not from Turks, or if you're from Turks and you haven't heard about it, then you're more than likely living under the rock instead of on it. Wellington just recently opened up his own store in Grace Bay, and the Wellington Collection finally has a place that it can call itself home. Now, I had the opportunity to go there about 2 weeks ago and see the store for the first time for myself, and it's dope. He doesn't only have things for women, but the Wellington Collection also carries things for men, as well as a bunch of other things that you can check out if you go and look at the store. Now, if you're not from Turks and you would like to go and see what the Wellington Collection has, he also has an online store. You can also check out his products on his Instagram and his Facebook. I'll have the links for those down in the description below. I also had the opportunity to sit down and talk to Wellington and ask him a few questions about the Wellington Collection and how he even got his start. That's what today's video is about, so do enjoy. At what point would you say that this was something you knew that you wanted to do?
When I started at the age of 11.
Jeez.
When I started at the age of 11 in high school, because one lunch break I made $250.
From the bingies?
Yes, at the age of 11 I made $250. Wow. I can never forget it. And I was like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, make jewelry.
All right, Wellington, I know that you started out, like, you got to start making jewelry in high school, making necklaces and stuff in high school, but at what point did you decide to make jewelry out of sand and conch shells?
4 years ago. 4 years ago, I decided to make jewelry with something that's Turks and Caicos, using natural resources of Turks and Caicos. And I thought of using the beach sand because tourists come to Turks and Caicos for beach, sand, sun, sea. And so I decided to make the entire collection out of beach, sand, sun, and sea. And ever since I created it 4 years ago, it has been wonderful.
I noticed that you were featured in the Turks and Caicos magazine for your entrepreneurial spirit and like the success of the Wellington Collection, right? Now, you've always had that entrepreneurial spirit for as long as I've known you. What advice would you give someone your age or maybe even younger? Because how old are you now?
22.
All right, you're 22. What advice would you give someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, who wants to start a business or just pursue something that they love?
Don't procrastinate is a huge factor with it. Another thing is, no matter what people say, give it a shot first, because you're not gonna know what the outcome is gonna be. And so if you happen to care about what somebody's gonna say before you even try, then you're not gonna know what the outcome was going to be if you did try. Perhaps it would have been something genius. Perhaps it would have been, you know, a failed project, but you still tried it.
That's very true.
Yeah. So that's what I always tell people. And then from that first initial step that you took, then that's when you can officially make more moves from that moment on. So if they like it, great, you'll continue doing it. If they didn't, you'll go back to the drawing board and figure out what you can do to make it better. And that's how I see it.